Today, the Joshua ambient echo from MXR. I know, it's on the table there. Trust me, guys, you want to see this video, because even though I haven't really turned a lot of knobs, this thing is gonna turn heads. See what I did there? But first, we're gonna put it out. We'll take it out of the box.
So promise that you'll sing with me. Sing until your voice is gone. No matter what the world may bring. Sing it like it's your last song.
Big thanks to Algam for sending this baby over and commissioning this video, because I asked them to. I saw this on Instagram and I immediately was like, wait a second. That's my bag of chips cheese. That's my bag of chips. That's my cup of tea. That's how you say that. Because I am a huge fan of the Strymon Dig, which is a dual digital delay. And it was the kind of box that could create these amazing spaces and ambient things. Well, I'm gonna say that the Joshua does more in a smaller form factor, and that it's so many smart things. So quickly, we're gonna go through the smart things, and I'm gonna have to consult the manual, because all 6 knobs have dual functionality. And here's something that you shouldn't do. For the last hour, I tried to put it in stereo mode. And it says in the manual very clearly, hold down Echo 2, which is the blue flashing knob, and turn voice all the way to the right until Echo 2 and trails flash. And here's what I did for a good hour. Use different amps, quad cortex, went through manuals. When it says turn the voice knob to the right, don't turn the mix knob. So dumb. So we have technically a dual echo, a dual delay. And this is the delay time. And the second one goes with the first one proportionally, which makes sense. It is usually set to a quarter note. So setting the first one to quarter note, kind of pointless. So now we have dotted eighth and quarter, eighth and quarter, and so on. But you can, of course, hold this and set the second one independently. Generally, holding Echo 2 and delay will change delay time for Echo 2. Wait, let me not lie to you. No, that'll turn hard and soft flashing on. Now it pumps. And now it pulses in the tempo. I mean, nice that you can set that. Gonna go to soft, because why not? Regeneration or feedback, you can of course set for one or the other. You can also just have one. That simple. You can also turn the trails off on the knob that says trails. And then you've got voice, which adds in a lower and higher shimmer. So there's an octave lower, octave higher, and 2 octaves higher. How exactly to blend that in, don't know yet. We're gonna figure that out. And modulation is depth. If you want rate, hit trails and modulation. So you kind of have to know a few things. You don't have to remember everything, but this for Echo 2, same thing. And modulation rate is with the trails. Anything else that's really... Oh, reverb decay. There's a reverb, hold trails, and then mix is reverb mix, and trails and regeneration is reverb decay. So let's stick with those. That should be enough. We're gonna play it mono, but if you look at it, it has a mono input. But right now, I have it connected with an insert cable, and that means it has a stereo output I'm only using one side right now, but we will switch it to stereo. But also, so this can be a stereo output, which actually gives you ping-pongy things. Really, really, really cool. And then there's a tap/expression. You can ramp delay time if you so choose and do crazy effects, or tap the tempo, which you can also do on the pedal. There's also a freeze mode when using an off-board tap switch. And you can really blend between two different settings with an expression pedal. We're all used to that stuff now. But the really cool thing is that expression pedal input, by flipping this little switch all the way towards it, becomes the stereo output. So you don't have to have a TRS cable. It actually then has two outputs. So they are repurposing the expression/tap to a stereo output, which is brilliant. Well, we talked a lot now. Let's look at some nice product shots with sounds. And we're actually going to play it. We're going to play it into the Lion from Universal Audio because that is easy to get stereoized. And I have the Joshua before the Lion, which means I can fully use its stereo-ness. Right now it is in mono and I have one cable pulled, so we have it in mono. Let's try this. And what I found amazing about the Joshua is you get it, you take it out of the box, you put all the knobs up, and you feel you never have to touch anything. It's just perfect the way it is. I don't even think you need to set the second delay to anything else. And why would you ever turn that off? This is a Shabbat Puma, one hell of a amazing guitar. You know. So let's turn that second one off. It's very blown out, that pedal. It's very difficult to film a bright, sparkly white pedal. Let's crank up that reverb mix and see what happens. Maybe delay down? Nope. Reverb mix all the way down. You want that in there a little bit. That's the danger of secondary functions, because you hold it down, you dial, and then you let go, and then you maybe mess with the dial a little bit again, and then you actually change the primary function, which I just did with regeneration. So by holding the foot switch, it now is tap. And now I can, of course, set it to dotted eighth. That old trick always works. So on delay 1, we actually now have 2, which is eighth and dotted eighth. Which means if I put this in, we have 3. That is just freaking awesome. So we're going to go to dotted eighth here. Going to turn the second one on, which should be on quarter notes. And I can change its mix. Can I? Yes. By holding echo, cranking mix up. Get some modulation in there. Get a lot in there and change the rate. That's the depth. I think it changes rate and depth at the same time. Gonna get that middle. Yeah, you want to set that to one thing and kind of keep it there, because fiddling with the alternate controls can be a bit frustrating. I could crank up the feedback only for the second one. And change the subdivision for the second one. Okay, so they will always kind of be locked into each other. You can't, as far as I can tell, freewheel them, freeball them. You know what I'm trying to say. I'm going to go back to quarter notes for it and pick this doohickey for the... So we have 3 now. Those are cleans to die for. Let's look at what voice gives us. Sounds like that delay line is going through a lower octave. Higher octave. It actually has lower and higher octave. Talk about ambient stuff. We're going to crank up the mix, crank up the regen. And you have an organ. Also a compressor in there. There's a high cut filter. Yes, there is. Compression threshold. There's a lot of stuff that's possible. I don't see a kill dry. Well, then it doesn't have one. Or maybe I just don't see it because clearly for an hour I was trying to make it stereo by fiddling with mix. I'm going to show you how stereo goes. You push echo and voice up and then it flashes and bam, now we're in stereo mode. I'm going to click this in and now we're talking, because if you have something that can do stereo like a modeler or 2 amps or whatever coming, oh, come on. Let's play beautiful things. No flat. What am I doing? Gonna crank up the gain a bit, so we're gonna have delay before gain, which isn't perfect, but it's just fun. So no matter how modulated you want it, it does it. You want ridiculous organ sounds. I mean, because it's going through the delay line, get the delay short and you have your organ sounds not coming in later, but almost immediately. Now this is what it sounds like without the Joshua. Still a great sound because the Lion kicks ass, but I mean... Talk about big pop rock! Well, I wouldn't do that. I mean, leads, cleans, big chords. It's all there. I'm done gushing over this. Form factor, ultra freaking small. Look at my hand. This is how big the Joshua is. It's a typical MXR pedal, which are smaller. Do you know that the MXR pedal started the channel? It was the very first pedal I ever bought and wanted to film, but actually never did. But that's why long story, love the transparent knobs, love the flashies when you go to tappies. Bam, 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 super good visual feedback. Love the idea that you have a stereo output as an extra jack if you want to, but it can be expression tap or control if you want to. Brilliant. Love that it's TRS on the output for stereo the way we're using it now. Love the divisions. Love that on divisions there's eighth note and dotted eighth at the same time. Love that you can set up echo 2, even though really or honestly on the quarter note it's fine because you can make echo 1 the weird one. Love the addition of that voice knob to make it more ambient. The reverb adds, it's not in the way and it's not a reverb pedal. It just adds a little bit of something. Honestly, in its price range, size range, functionality range, I'm a sucker for dual delays and that thing delivers. I like delays anyway, but then dual ones and the stereo capability, bang for the buck. That's the one to get. Use it like this. Wait. Tap your tempo, go back. Now I can turn it on and off. And Bob's your uncle, Fred's your nephew. That setting right there, how I got it out of the box and put it on the table immediately made me happy. And I haven't gotten a shit sound out of it, which is good because you want to be happy. That's why we buy these pieces of gear. The Joshua is killer. I'm not saying that because I'm commissioned to say that. I'm saying it because I love dual delays and this delivers. D-colons? D-kidneys? Get it? Delivers. It's an organ joke. But we also had organ sounds. So it all, yeah, please use my links to Sweetwater and Thomann. That would be very, very sweet of you. It really helps. And if you haven't, why haven't you subscribed? You know the numbers matter to us. It means nothing to you. It means everything to us. So please do that. And big thanks to Algam and MXR and links below and animals at the end.